cold as a razor blade.
Episode of the Snake Pit, and of course, I'm joined by the man himself, WWE Hall of Famer, fresh off of surgery, which we'll be talking about here soon. It's the man, Jake Snake Roberts. Jake, how you doing?
Well, doing better, much better.
On the mend.
Yeah. It's just not something you fix in 1 minute,
No, it is not.
It takes a little bit of time to recover, and that's what I'm giving it, is the time to recover.
And Jake, the fans are dying to hear all about it, and we will talk about it on this episode. We're doing something a little bit different this time, though, folks. We're going to provide fans with an update on you from all of your recent activity, because the surgery isn't the only thing that you've been up to. You were also up in Toronto recently with an independent promotion called Greektown Wrestling, and some very, very interesting stuff happened there as you were a guest enforcer for the main event. We'll talk about that. But before we get into that and the surgery, we should touch on the really big news in wrestling, the really sad news in wrestling. Unfortunately, Jake, we lost a legend, ECW original, hardcore innovator. Of course, I'm talking about Sabu, who sadly passed away.
Yeah, that one stung me pretty good. Sabu and I had become friends over the past few years, and had a lot of respect for him. And him and his lovely wife before she passed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were friends.
Sad to see him go. And I mean, especially, I think that the wrestling world was really shocked about it, because while you and I were in Vegas, Jake, he made really, really big wrestling news with an absolutely crazy retirement match that I was fortunate enough to be present for. And so, like, when you hear that news after, it's just like, man, he had this really awesome send off, like the kind of send off that I think that most wrestlers would want. A big crowd and a lot of emotional attachment. He passes away. Really kind of shocking, right?
Yeah, it was shocking. I got blindsided by that news also. It was just he just done the match, and what was it, like 5 days later or something like that?
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer than 5 days. I don't know the exact amount, but it was like not long after, and all of a sudden Sabu's just not with us anymore. Kind of terrifying, really.
Yeah, it was. I still don't know why or what was the cause of his death.
Yeah, nothing has been revealed yet,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So fans are kind of left on the hook.
Dead, but
What was that?
so not that it really matters. Dead is dead.
Yeah. It's there was like some controversy online surrounding the whole thing, and Joey Janela, who was actually at Greektown, we'll be talking about him here in a minute. But he was Sabu's opponent for his last match, and Joey was catching a bunch of like heat online from fans because he revealed on some podcast or something that he had provided Sabu or GCW, somebody provided Sabu with kratom, the drug kratom, before he went out and performed, because Sabu wasn't feeling good at the time. And so Sabu used that drug, went out and had his match. And I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's any smoke to that fire, because apparently he was out doing signings and seemed perfectly normal afterwards. But I don't know. What's your take on that, Jake?
I don't know, man. I don't know what kratom is. I've heard of it, but I've never been. I missed that one. But, I don't think there's a whole lot to be put on that for Janela to catch any heat. And you might, you still got to be the one that takes it. But it seemed like to me it had been several days since anything had happened.
Yep, he went out and did a signing. As a matter of fact, the next day at WrestleCon, he was there doing a signing.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just very, very shocking. Very like a real whodunit.
It is. Hopefully we'll have some answers soon as fans. I know that like a lot of his devoted fans have just been kind of dying for some sort of an answer. So, hopefully in the coming days we'll get something. But Jake, I think that a lot of fans, when they think about you and the guys that you would have associated with over your career, Sabu is close to the bottom of the list. You guys really weren't in any of the same promotions a lot of the time.
Um,
How did you get to know and become friends with Sabu?
well, when his wife got sick, I they had a GoFundMe, and I put a substantial amount of money towards it,
Mm,
and he picked up on it and got back to me and let me know how much he appreciated it. It was a surprise because we weren't friends at the time,
mhm.
and but I was just doing what I felt like I was to do.
Helping one of the boys.
Yeah, it's just I was I heard a little bird in my ear told me to go, do something good, and when I hear that voice, I usually wind up doing it.
How about that? And so you and Sabu would have connected afterwards and just kind
Yeah,
of remained friends over the years.
yeah,
Good. Now, I do have to ask Jake, Sabu and his wrestling style, certainly innovative, but a very big departure from the kind of stuff that you were brought up in the business
yeah.
doing. So I'm curious, Jake, when you see the death-defying stuff, they call him the suicidal, genocidal, homicidal, maniac out there, Sabu. What did you make of the things that he was doing out there?
Well, innovative man, just a slice of nothing, nothing that you know
Mhm.
that you recognize. He twisted things to places that you just didn't expect him to come. And a death-defying act.
Seeing some of the things that he does, even watching it back, it's a lot of the stuff, the footage of him is, whatever, 25 years ago. You watch it now and it's like, boy, I don't know if a lot of the boys now and some of the crazy shit that they would do if they would try what he was doing back then.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Now, I know that you were only in ECW briefly, but it's a fun crossover. Jake the Snake being involved in ECW is something the wrestling fans still look back on really fondly today. That being said, they were doing wrestling a little bit differently, much like Sabu. But I mean, it was kind of the standard in ECW, this different style and being more hardcore, a little bit more cutting edge. I'm curious, Jake, when you saw what they were doing in ECW, did you think it was hurting the business, or what was your take on the product?
I thought it was just a choice for fans. Fans got a choice of what they want to watch, whether it be Mid South or AWA back in the day, or Florida Championship Wrestling. Whatever you want to choose, you pick and choose. So ECW was just another choice for fans,
Hmm.
and that's a good thing because there was a lot of good that came out of ECW.
Hell yes.
You know, a lot of talent got their start there.
After Steve Austin was fired, he didn't jump right to the WWF. He was in ECW for a cup of coffee first. The same thing with Mick Foley. Mick Foley probably owes a lot of his career to ECW. So you're right. A lot of really good things came out of there. And I know I personally was a fan, but man, watching it back now, it's holy smoke. Some of the stuff they were doing was insane.
It's crazy.
Now, Sabu's uncle was the Sheik, and he's credited with being the innovator of hardcore wrestling in many respects and is considered, a legendary figure in the business. Jake, in all your years traveling around, making the towns, did you ever cross paths with the Sheik?
Yes, I did. I went to Detroit and worked.
Yeah?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us about that experience and what the Sheik was like?
It was just a television match. I was one of the guys getting squashed,
Mm,
and I went to Detroit and did the gig and left. That was it.
that was it.
I did meet him, and very very soft spoken, very soft spoken.
Now, did you do the job for the Sheik?
No,
Do you remember who you did the job for at that instance?
Moose Cholak.
I've heard you mention that name before. That he became like a buddy of yours, right?
No, no, that was Moose Morowski.
That's it. Okay, Moose Cholak, another Moose.
Yeah, another stiff moose.
They were both stiff.
Yeah,
Jim Duggan's nickname in high school was Moose, and he's stiff. There's something to this.
yeah, there is something to that.
Last question on Sabu, and then we'll move on. Jake, what do you feel or hope Sabu's legacy will be in professional wrestling?
Just somebody that opened up the doors, man, and shined a different light. A different color light, but a bright one. His star will be up there forever. No pulling that down.
No, sir.
And I just can't believe it, man.
That was very well said, Jake. And I said that was the last question, but now you made me want to ask you another one. Sabu, a WWE Hall of Famer?
I believe so.
I certainly think so too, and I've seen a lot of outpouring online with fans saying that. So I would like to see him go in next year. I think he certainly deserves it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, guys, let's take a quick time out to talk about our fantastic sponsor, Blue Chew. It is the new year, and it's time for you to have better sex with Blue Chew. And they're putting their money where their mouth is, pal. They're offering you a month for free. The whole process is totally simple. You owe it to yourself to give this a try. You just sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready when the opportunity arises. The best part? It's all done online. That means no more visits to the doctor's office, no more awkward, uncomfortable conversations, and no more waiting in line at the pharmacy. Now, look, people ask me all the time, and it's always the same question: does Blue Chew really work? Well, let me tell you, pal, it's time for you to find out for yourself. People are going to be calling you Eagle Scout with the way that you're going to be pitching tents by the time Blue Chew is done with you. The folks at Blue Chew told me they're not going to stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That is their mission. They want to get you rock hard in the new year. I said you owe it to yourself. Not only do you owe it to yourself, you also owe it to your partner. You could be missing out on the best sex of your entire life without even knowing about it. Come on, you got to give this a try. They say there is nothing sexier than confidence, and Blue Chew can help give you confidence where it counts. We can all relate to wanting to feel more confident, right? Especially in the bedroom, and Blue Chew's here for you. It's time, guys. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free. Just visit BlueChew.com and use our code SNAKE at checkout. You'll get your first month free. Just pay $5 shipping. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information, and we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Well, let's move on to what you've been up to, Jake, starting with a little stop up there north of the border for Greektown Wrestling. Oh boy, there's a lot to discuss here. And as it turns out, I actually know and wrestle with a lot of the guys that were there for that night. And some of them were asking me questions. I just wrestled this past Saturday, and some of them were asking me questions about you being there. I was like, I don't have the answers yet, but hang tight, I'll have them. But I'm curious, did anybody specifically there stand out for you as a performer?
A couple of guys, but I can't remember their names.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when it's that's a funny thing in wrestling. You're supposed to go up and shake everybody's hand and introduce yourself.
Yeah,
Every time that happens, I instantly forget the guy's name.
every time, brother.
Well, I mentioned your brief stop in ECW back in 1998 just a little while ago, and while you were there in ECW, you teamed up with a man who was also working for Greektown that night, the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer. Jake, what was it like crossing paths with your old pal Tommy last weekend?
It was good to see Tommy, man. Just we buddied around a little bit. We haven't spent a whole lot of time with each other, but what time we have spent has been good.
He comes and works for the company I work for here in Pittsburgh fairly often, and anytime I talk about you, boy, does he have glowing things to say about you and your work. So cool to see you two get together. What's really funny though is a little peek behind the curtain, folks. I helped Jake out on social media, and I had asked to get a selfie of Jake, or a picture of Jake with Tommy Dreamer, just because I thought that would be something cool for social. And Cheryl texted me and she said Jake went into the locker room and he's gonna take a selfie with Tommy Dreamer. I was like, boy, Jake Roberts and selfie in the same sentence feel like they just don't belong. I was like, let's see if this happens. In that moment, my phone goes off and there's a selfie of Jake the Snake with Tommy Dreamer. So it was, you shocked me a few times that weekend.
Yeah, I shocked myself that weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, we're about to get to some of the shocking stuff. I'm curious. I mentioned it. Tommy says that you're a huge inspiration for his legendary career. When you think of Tommy Dreamer, the performer, what do you feel makes him one of those guys who has stood the test of time so well? I see the reactions he gets nowadays on the indies. It's still really big. What do you think it is about Tommy?
It's solid work, really solid. Can't see through anything that he does.
Mhm.
It's just good, hard, solid work.
Well put. And yep, Tommy's still working at a high level. Is he still the athlete he once was? Maybe not. He's got a few years on him, but
Yeah,
he still knows how to work that crowd, man.
yeah, he does.
Jake, right now we're gonna cut to a quick clip of you standing in the ring. Cheryl sent this over to me. I was struck by it right away. Let's have a look. Look at you out there jumping around.
Yeah,
You're looking spry out there. You thinking about making a little comeback?
no. You come back to the locker room.
go go hit the pay window. That's the only place.
Yeah,
How do you just hypothetically, I see you out there kind of bouncing around. I'm like, boy, look at him go. And then you are gonna get physical here. Jake, how do you think Cheryl would feel about it if you said you wanted to do one last match?
hopefully she'd hit me with the frying pan.
Knock some damn sense into you.
No shit.
Well, Jake, the other thing that really stuck out for me was something that was not on my bingo card here in 2025. Jake, you did a spot that I would have bet everything in my bank account against you agreeing to. Let's have a look at it. Jake, taking the green mist. For our listening audience, what happened there was Jake hit Joey Janela with a short arm clothesline. Joey Janela's opponent, Channing Decker, was down. Jake picked up Channing. Channing must have thought it was Joey and sprayed the green mist in Jake's face. Jake, what can you tell us about this experience?
Fucking shit sucks. Turn my mustache green.
I saw the after pictures, and yep, it was still green.
Yeah. I had to scrub and scrub and scrub, get that shit out.
Well, I mentioned it. A lot of guys were asking me questions about you at Greektown this past weekend, and the
Yeah.
prevailing question all weekend was, Jake taking the green mist. How the hell did he agree to that? So, Jake, let's answer the question.
You know, the guys just wanted it really badly in their match.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, I thought about it. It took a lot of thinking about it before I agreed to it. But you know, what the hell? If I can help some guys make a match happen, and they think that it's going to help their match, then hell, let's do it.
Man, good on you, Jake. Yeah, that's really giving back to the business, brother.
Well, I wound up short arm clothesline in both of them.
Yeah, that's right. There's another clip of after, Jake gets the mist, he says, "Fuck this guy too," gives him the short arm clothesline.
Yeah,
Also for our listening audience, the lovely Cheryl was there at ringside. She came to the ring with Jake, and, she actually got to slap the dog shit out of Joey Janela, didn't she?
yeah, and there's a lot of it too.
I need to see a clip of that. I told her
Joey's
that that's
full
the real clip.
heart. Oh, yeah, yeah.
You said before that,
She
Rick
didn't
Ru
send that to you?
I still have not seen the slap clip, so
Oh,
I
hold
still
it
haven't
out,
seen.
man.
I'm gonna ask her to send it, and, maybe we'll get it up on your social media so the world can see that Cheryl still got that slap that she slapped Rick Rude with.
Okay, we'll do that.
Now, Jake, I do have to ask, that green mist, have you ever taken green mist from anybody before in your whole career?
No,
So here you are, right on the doorstep of 70 years old, and you're still doing some new shit in wrestling.
yeah, buddy.
Did they give you anything to take that shit off of your skin?
Fuck no.
So it's just you go back and use some soap or hand sanitizer or what?
Yeah, soap and water, man.
Oh, miserable. Getting physical out there again, Jake. Do you think you got another DDT left in you for somewhere on the indies?
No, I gotta leave that alone, bro.
You're done with the DDT.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Short arm clothesline is plenty good enough.
I'll do that, but that's it. That's as far as it's gonna go.
All right, now, Jake, let's move on to the subject that I know our listeners are dying to hear about. Guys, you can get the full story behind this right now. It's Jake's surgery. I know that a lot of folks have been asking for what's going on, what's the nature of the surgery, why did Jake need it? So, Jake, if you could, please enlighten us all.
Well, the reason I needed it is I'd gotten sick and my heart went into arrhythmia.
Mm,
You know, it was speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, which is not as good thing. So we wanted to take care of that. And one of the ways you take care of it is by doing this thing called
I couldn't say it either, brother.
yeah, ablation or something like that.
Hmm.
To do that, what they do is they go in through your groin all the way up to your heart, and they go in there and they shock some nerves and kind of get them straightened out. So once they did that, then they went in and put in a thing called Watchman,
Okay.
and it's a little device that uh, takes care of blood clots. If I should have one,
Hmm.
this thing will stop it from going through and doing damage, giving me a stroke or something.
Yeah.
And it'll also make it to where I don't have to be on blood thinners also.
Oh, good.
So it's a great thing. You know, it was elective surgery. It wasn't something I had to have, but
Okay.
it's just a smart thing to do. Um, anytime they put you under, it's a little scary.
Yes, sir.
But at 70, it is scarier, because you don't know just how many times you can do this. But we did it. I came out of it all right, a little slow. But I was in the hospital from 8 in the morning to about 6 o'clock that night. And the recovery time is something they got to just watch the bleeding on that main vein down there in your crotch.
Right.
Because that thing starts to bleed, brother. You can bleed out real quick.
Absolutely.
So we had to watch that and get that completely stopped before I could leave the hospital. And it took a while. It didn't want to stop, but it finally did. We took care of things, man. We got it done.
Man, good for you, Jake. I think that a lot of people saw heart surgery. That was like, it doesn't matter the word ablation was in there. People saw heart surgery, and the internet just kind of went crazy. Oh my gosh, what's going
Yeah.
on with Jake? So appreciate you sharing that with us. I'm curious. You said that it was an illness that kind of got your heart out of rhythm.
Yeah,
Was it COVID or what happened?
just a flu bug.
Ah, okay.
Flu bug hit me and got my heart out of rhythm.
Now I know that you've been trying to cut back or completely stop when it comes to your smoking. Has this surgery had any impact in that regard?
Still 4 cigarettes a day, man.
Hard habit to stop, isn't it?
It is really, really hard, and it's very frustrating. Very frustrating.
None of the gum or patches or anything like that work, right?
I'm doing all of it.
I myself smoked for about 12 years, and I will wake up in the middle of the night, and I haven't smoked for probably 13 years now. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and just have a craving for a cigarette out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy thing. Now, Jake, I did want to mention, and I'm sure that you saw it, but online, after your surgery, the picture went up of you post surgery where you're giving the thumbs up. Well, that post, Jake, got about 28,000 likes overnight.
Wow.
Yes, and tons of comments, tons of well wishes. Jake, just an incredible outpouring online from your fans, and I know it's got to feel really amazing, right?
It does, man. All the time. Anytime.
And just cool to see how loved you are still at this stage in your career. And Jake, before I let you go, I do want to ask, and this is another question that I know a lot of fans were asking, was what's your recovery like from this, and how long do you think it'll be before you're back out to see all your devoted fans?
Probably 10 more days.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll be back out on the road by the 30th.
Okay, so folks, you aren't gonna have to wait long.
No, we'll be back out there.
Is this now we got to see some fun there in Greektown, so a couple short arm clotheslines, some fucking green mist out of nowhere, which is crazy. Jake, do you think you're still going to continue giving short arm clotheslines, getting into the ring, doing that fun stuff?
Yeah, I hope so.
I wouldn't rule it out, folks. I wouldn't rule it out.
Like,
All right,
all right,
Jake. Well, look, I'll let you go. Always fun to catch up with you. I'm glad that you're doing well, and I'll look forward to doing one of these again next week, my friend.
all right, take care.
Okay, that'll wrap us up for today. But before we go, I've got to remind you that if you're looking to attract that 25 to 54-year-old male demographic to your product or service, what are you doing? You've got to get over to advertisewithsnake.com. Jake is still with AEW. He's all over the United States. He's meeting fans constantly, shaking hands, talking to people at conventions. People ask him about this show, and people want to know what Jake does and likes to do. And that's why I think it's really important for you to try and be his tag team partner if you're trying to sell a product or service to that demographic. We routinely advertise for the same businesses because they know that what we do here on the Snake Pit works. Again, just go to advertisewithsnake.com and make Jake the Snake Roberts your tag team partner. Get over to Cameo. It's cameo.com/Jake Snake. You'll get a personal message from the Hall of Famer himself. He'll cut a promo on you. He'll give you a birthday wish. He'll do whatever you'd like over there, and it's straight from Jake. I mean, you can't do any better than that. Here's a review from Jack. Jake, you really blew our minds in a good way. Thanks so much for taking the time and making this so candid and so personal. Look, guys, if you're a lifelong fan of Jake, you've got to get this Cameo. This is something you can hold on to for the rest of your life, show your friends, show your family, and just enjoy for years to come. Again, it's cameo.com/Jake Snake. Go and order yours today. You got to check us out on YouTube. It's youtube.com/@SnakePitPod. We've got short clips from the show, highlights, exclusive content, and giveaways. Again, it's youtube.com/@SnakePitPod. Also, if you've enjoyed the podcast, please do Jake and I a big favor. It only takes you a second. Like, subscribe.